Well, I was waiting for this game for a long time. I mean long time. I have a PC but I don't have PS4 or PS5. No, I'm not crying. I wanted to play God of War Ragnarok for years. Finally, I played and I can say I loved it. It was worth the wait. I enjoyed so much. I can even put this game for my top 5 list. I can count a bad side about this game. Well, story was little too long. It took 4 days to finish. I played 4.5 days constantly. I didn't even take a water break or lunch break. I just played the game. I was even thirsty and I needed to eat food and go outside, but almost for 5 days I didn't do single thing. I loved playing this game but I hated at the same time because I didn't do my daily things like reading books, driving or going to the gym. That's why I felt bad. My muscles was melting. You know how much I work for my muscles? I lost 7 kg in 2 months and I almost gained 1.5 kg in 5 days. Well, for that reason I don't want to do this again. It's like drinking alcohol, but I never drink alcohol, but I know when you drink alcohol it feels good and bad at the same time, but joy makes you keep drinking. But afterwards is the worst part. You just feel sorry, you pity yourself, you telling yourself how did you mess up this bad. I don't wanna have the same feeling again. Let's back our subject, God of War Ragnarok. I played first God of War and that game was incredible. That game a game that you need to play. If you call yourself a gamer, you need to try that game. Gameplay wise, story wise, graphic wise, God of War phenomenal. I experienced that everyone needs to have. God of War Ragnarok's developer Sony is one of the best developer studios, Santa Monica Studio. Well, they usually known for making God of War games. They tried different games but they known for God of War series and they did a pretty good job for last 2 God of War. I'm not saying all God of Wars are bad. Don't get jump on me like I said all God of Wars are bad. I'm just saying last 2 God of War are really perfect games. I recently played God of War Ragnarok and I want to talk about this game. Now then, let's begin to the review. Gameplay. God of War Ragnarok, basically, briefly perfect. I can't describe this than any other word. It's just perfect. There is some little bad sides, but they are so little. I enjoyed every part of the gameplay. Fighting, exploring, upgrading, everything. Just so good and entertaining, especially fighting against bosses. There's a lot of mechanics you can use. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. It's a bigger than God of War 2016, and I can say it's a better than God of War 2016, gameplay wise. But God of War 2016 did better stuff finishing animations and you can find skills if you traveled enough, but in God of War Ragnarok having skills is pretty hard. I mean finding skill takes more time to compare to previous game and I like this stuff in previous game. In this game it's really hard to find a skill. It was annoying, I can't lie. Other than that, skills are effective and good to use. Hit feeling in this game is really good. Every hit, every finisher is brutal and you can feel this brutality. Game made an amazing job for hit feeling. No matter how big enemy is, you can still feel the attack. You get reaction of your blow, which is really a good thing. Every axe blow has a reaction on enemy and sound. I am saying this countless time because it's really important thing. If you are making action game, make the hit feeling good. And in God of War Ragnarok it's perfect. Every time when you use skill, attack enemy or finish enemy, you feel that blow, how brutal finisher is. They developed hit feeling very well. I mean it's just perfect. Same thing for the when you get blow. In some games you can understand you get shot or not. But in this game when you take a blow, you feel that blow, okay? Hit feeling wise it's a perfect game. I like the gameplay a lot. There's a lot of mechanics in this game. I like the most of them. First of all, I like the skill mechanics. It's good that every weapon has its own unique skill and you can use it whenever you want. Well, you need to wait a little. Skill mechanics helps you in the battle a lot and makes the game diverse and makes every weapon different from each other. That's why I like the skill mechanics a lot. It gives you opportunity to approach a battle differently and give you option to use whenever you want. I like the skill mechanics in this game a lot. But I have one complaint about skill. It's hard to find a skill. In God of War Ragnarok it takes too much to find a skill. In God of War 2018 this situation wasn't like this. In this game it just takes time to find a good skill. You need to be patient, I guess. Other than that, I like the dodging and parrying mechanic in this game. It feels so good parrying in this game. When you dodge this kind of attack, you feel if I continue parrying this, I will be addicted to parrying soon. I think parrying and dodging is essential part of these kind of games. You need to parry and escape from attacks to make fighting better, you know? It's same for Batman games, Devil May Cry games or any other games like God of War. It doesn't matter every game has this. What matters is how good these mechanics are. In God of War Ragnarok, parrying and dodging feels so satisfying. Parrying in this game makes fights 10 times more optional and better. So parry every attack, boys. Spartan Rage. Well, I like the Spartan Rage in boss battles or in bad situation. It helps you to escape. It's a nice mechanic. It gives you more option in fights. In boss battle, in hard battle, in battles that you have little little HP and it helps you to deal crowded enemies, so having this option is really nice. And I am keeping my Spartan Rage for boss fights or fight that I need, and you have 3 types of Spartan Rage. All 3 of them is good, but my favorite is Fury. It allows you to deal with enemies and damage them easily. Other 2 is good too. For example, Valor helps you to gain some HP and Wrath give you ability to deal big damage to enemy. Other than Spartan Rage mechanic, I love the relax skill. It's most of the time one use skill in every battle, but it still gives you the little option to approach in fights and helps you to escape some situations. There is many relax skill, but my favorite is summoning swords and stopping time. These 2 skills are really good and I recommend you to use it. For diversity part, I can clearly say game is really diverse. For enemy types, skills and different weapons, you have a lot of different types of enemy and they are really different. For example, every time when I fight this Wolfman, I am trying to be careful because they are really dangerous enemy types and you need to be careful to some enemies. For example, Ravens are annoying and strong bosses because they are mobile and attacking fast and repeatedly, so you need to be careful to them as well. And there is enemies that attack from a distance. These are not hard or anything like that, but they are so annoying. While you are fighting in close range, these people decide to attack you and annoy you. When I see one of them in the game, I just focus on killing these enemies. You know what they say, you need to step snake's head when they are little. There is more than enough different types of enemies. Enemies in this game really diverse and different from each other. Most of the enemies have unique attack, different styles. Developer team really deserves an applause for enemy design. Don't worry about enemies, you will see different kind of enemies. For weapons, I can say you have different weapons and you have different weapons that feels different. For example, X way different from Blade of Chaos, and Blade of Chaos is different than Spear. Every weapon feels different and it's so good. I usually use X because it's perfectly balanced. I think because X is really good for 1v1 fights and I like to make my fights 1v1. I usually deal with one guy and then move to the other guys. You can easily damage them and it has a perfect damage, but not so effective as X, so I can say every weapon is at good side. Okay then, what's Spear's superior side? Well, Spear good for damaging posture. It's really effective to break enemies' posture and stun them. Spear is good, but I was expecting a better weapon. As it is right now is good. I think for some situation it helps you a lot. And lastly, boss battles. Main bosses and side quests bosses was perfect. I wanna talk about side bosses first. Side bosses was good. I fought dragons, berserks, valkyries, lizard things, and it was very entertaining and challenging. If action is good, I will like the challenge in games, and in God of War action is fabulous and entertaining, so you will like these hard challenges. Well, dragons and other side bosses not that much challenging and hard, but valkyries and berserks are hard. It's hard and you will like this hardness. This hardness will make you hard. This hardness will make you man. You will get boner from this hardness. Jokes aside, I like the berserk badges. It's challenging, it's hard, it's really fun. You need to use all your skill to kill them all, and this is what I like. Berserks are hard and different from each other. Most of them quite challenging and have different patterns, which is good. One doesn't feel like the other, so you wanna face them because it's hard and makes you use everything against them. It's quite fun. I can say God of War Ragnarok best game for its genre. If you wanna make this kinda game, God of War Ragnarok is your blueprint. It does everything perfect. For its genre, I think it's top 5 game. I would even put this top 1. Do you guys have better game than God of War Ragnarok for action adventure genre? What is special about this game? Well, everything. What this game does is really entertaining and every mechanic has quality. Every mechanic in this game well designed. Action mechanics, climbing mechanics, skill mechanics, dodging mechanics, parrying mechanics, diverse and perfect. This game doesn't have a bad side other than simple things. So when every gameplay part comes together, this makes God of War Ragnarok special game because every part is fabulous. Briefly, I enjoyed God of War Ragnarok's gameplay so much. I never got bored, except some open world sections, but I never bored from fighting or exploring the map. Story. I loved and impressed by the story, same as God of War 2018. These two games had a perfect story. I just wonder is there will be another God of War game? But I think there will be another God of War game because I don't think story is finished. Yes, Norse mythology probably finished, but I don't think they will give up from making another God of War game. I think they will announce another God of War game in 2 years probably. God of War Ragnarok's story is fascinating and absorbing. You get in the story in the first minute. Story, characters and dialogues are well written. I don't know any other story have this much cinematic or acting in it. I feel like I'm playing a movie. I just feel like this is better what we call a movie in these days. It has a better cinematic than most of the movies. If this game was a movie, already is, but if it was really a movie, it will be my in top 5 movie. Let's review the game as a movie. Characters are good, story itself is good, action effects are nice, you have a good character improvement, everything is really nice. You will love the story and character connection and dialogue stuff like that. There's no other game worked on this than God of War, I believe. Well, I didn't play Red Dead Redemption 2, but I believe it's good as well, but I think it's not going to pass God of War level story and character connections. Okay then, let's briefly talk about story. Story begins with Kratos and Atreus hunting. While they are going to their home, Freya attacks us and we escape from her. After a little chase, we are coming home. Atreus is one of the dog. Fenrir is dying. Atreus decided to bury the dog, so Kratos leaves him, but Atreus doesn't come home for a while, so Kratos looks for him and finds out Atreus turned into a bear. Blah blah blah. When they back home, Thor and Odin comes. Kratos and Thor fights, but after a while Thor leaves the battle. Then Atreus convinces Kratos to look Tyr, who is old God of War. After that, our journey continue like that. I can frankly say it's a good opening for the game. We having good fight against Thor and we having interesting journey to find old God of War. I can say story gives you all emotions. Happiness, sadness, surprise, anger, you feel every emotion while playing this game. Game will going to twist you, I can't lie. I was expecting a good story and I can proudly say I find it. Same thing for characters. Characters are well written. Every character is good and every character is interesting. Every connection between characters, every dialogue between characters interesting and you wanna know more. You want more. I liked old Kratos because he still has anger. He still has fury, but he has a father now. Because of this, he became more merciful and more forgiving. When he beats his enemies, he gave them second chance. If this was a young Kratos, he would kill you 10 times. So that's why I like the old Kratos. He is more wise, also a teacher to Atreus, not just a father. I also like Mimir as well. Mimir is smart man. I mean smartest man alive. I love Mimir's story and some wise lessons. I also love his connection between Kratos. I feel like Mimir is Kratos' right hand and he always adds something to Mimir. He trusts Mimir and gives his secret to Mimir and he is uncle to Atreus. Giving advice, joking, teaching something to Atreus. I like the connection and conversation between characters. It was really good. I love Atreus as well. He's trying to find his way. He's trying to find what he's gonna do, what he wants. So Atreus became more interesting character than previous game. I liked Freya as well. I liked her journey. I like to say she accepts her mistake and becoming better person. I loved her rage, her personality. I like Thor more than Odin because Thor is better person, more likable. He is bad person but game shows he can be good and that makes him more interesting character. Game just doesn't say your enemies is bad guy, doesn't have family. In this game it shows even our enemies have family and morals. Thor has morals, that's why I loved him. For Odin, I loved Odin as well. He is kinda sloppy character, he even tricked me. Is this a really bad man? Because he doesn't want war, he is looking for answers and ready to sacrifice for everything for these answers. That's why he's a bad person and I love not everything, just not black and white. So briefly, I love the story, I love the characters, I love the dialogues between characters and how things move. Everything about story is good. Graphics. I'm not going to talk about this subject so much, but I wanna say everything about graphic was perfect as well. I mean, I can't see bad side. Everything about graphics was looking flawless. When you see a view in this game, you can literally stop and watch for hours. This shows how good graphics are. When you see a place, you wanna look everywhere and you wanna see everything. So many stuff, so many places was good in God of War Ragnarok, but this place literally impressed me. I was hypnotized. I like snowy places, I like sunny places, I liked every place in the map. They designed the map very well. Every place in the game was looking different. Not just graphics itself, also design is looking good as well. When I first gone to the Asgard, I amazed how good they designed the game, designed the map. There is no word to describe how good they designed Asgard. It feels like I can't describe it with words. It's extraordinary. I loved Asgard, how they designed it. It looks perfect. Not just environment design, character design and weapon design is also perfect. Every enemy design looks nice and different from each other. Dragons looks dead, like it should be. Wolfman looks scary and dangerous, like it has to be. Every design fits for its character, so character design, enemy design just phenomenal. Weapon design looks perfect. Axe design, chaos of blade design, spear design, everything just very nice. Everything looks nice to eyes. Overall, if I need to be frank, graphics was shockingly good. Game was showing blood when it has to be, so I like the new graphic style of God of War series. Scoring, gameplay, gameplay was perfect. Action was perfect. Exploring the map, boss fights, everything was perfect. So my score to gameplay is 39. Story was wonderful. Characters was perfect. Game did perfect job to delivering the story. Even though I liked the story too much, I feel like it was too long. So my score to story is 28. I love the graphics. They did everything very nice. Graphics, atmosphere, design, models, environment, everything was perfect. My score to graphics are 28. So overall, God of War Ragnarok got 85 points from me. Well, I would give 100, but I am waiting the score for God of War 6. Some stuff was bothering me. That's why I gave 95 points. But still, I recommend every gamer on Earth, hell, even in Moon, to play this game once. I don't recommend any games usually, but you must play this game. It's worth your time and it's definitely worth your money. This is all I wanna say. Just play the game. And thank you for watching the video until the end. Please like and subscribe and make a comment. See you in the next video. Have a nice day, friend.